You talking about my kid, man? Like, I have to screenshot you, know who you are, and if I ever see you,
you can't play with it. Yeah, you can't play with it. No, I'm with you. 100%. That's why I don't feel no remorse.
I feel no remorse. Like, yo, you talked about someone's child, bro. But now they make it racist. They try to make me a pal. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
This was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, this we gotta talk. This was next level. So one of my exes,
Andrew Schulz is balls deep in this beef with Kendrick Lamar, and it doesn't seem to be cooling off anytime soon. It started off with a joke about black women being angry, then Kendrick called out Schulz's black friends for letting him talk shit about them, so Schulz hit back by saying he would make love to Kendrick and there's nothing he could do to stop him. I covered all the details in my last video, but as usual, things have gotten worse. Now Kendrick's fans are out in full force digging up old dirt on Schulz. Someone with deep pockets put out an offer of $250 per person to protest outside Schulz's next show in Hawaii. And Andrew hasn't been quiet either. He's been going hard on social media, pointing out the hypocrisy in the hip-hop community, so I'll show you all those details in a moment, but there was one thing that caught me off guard. This was something I hadn't heard about before until now, and it's the allegations against Schulz by an ex-girlfriend of his that she made back in December of 2020. And I'm not going to lie here, guys, it's pretty fucked up. I honestly don't know what to make of it, and Andrew's response in this week's episode of Flagrant just made me even more suspicious. And this is how things go, right? Compared to how it started, it's turned into a full-blown cancellation war against Andrew Schulz. And I think what people don't seem to understand is that all this shit is going to do is just make Schulz more popular. He'll go on Rogan's podcast soon and they'll blow up the free speech doll and play the victim card. Schulz will claim he's being cancelled, so you'd better go out and watch his special. Otherwise, the sky will fall and we'll all be forced into concentration camps. His fans will eat it up, he'll have another multi-million-dollar payday, and then he'll gloat about how much money he made, rinse and repeat. But I want to get to these fucked up allegations against Schulz and his strange response to them on this week's episode of Flagrant. It started off with Andy and the Toy Story boys calling out all the misinformation around the timing of his recordings, and this is actually really interesting because on the last episode of Brilliant Idiots over the weekend, Schulz revealed the truth behind his SA joke against Kendrick, which made the whole situation make a little bit more sense. See, at first it just seemed like a weird-ass comeback to Kendrick calling him out for talking shit about black women. You know, it was meant to be an edgy and controversial joke, cause comedian, but it turns out that Schulz and his buddies were getting death threats, and Andrew drew the line at threats against his 10-month-old daughter. So knowing that context now, it makes sense why Schulz went so hard with that joke about making love to Kendrick. It was his strange way of countering all the hate and threats they'd been getting for weeks.
There's this clip that they're going around trying to say that I'm like being a victim now. Do you have this shit? Mm-hmm. They can play that shit. I've been posting shit, like telling me they're going to take out my family on like pictures of my child, my daughter.
God.
You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
And social media.
Yeah, it's social media. It's like, but he says that line. He says
ready?
that line. Pause. So Andrew Schulz says multiple Kendrick Lamar fans have threatened to kill his family over sexual assault joke.
Yeah. That last 6 words or whatever.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what people don't know is that this was recorded before I ever said anything to Kendrick. This, you notice the outfit is the same outfit as Flagrant. We did the podcast the same day, right? This is the timeline. Kendrick drops the bar in the song, right? He says, you know, don't talk about black women, that's law, to white comedian. Then he tells people to slide on the black dudes close to him. Alex and Charlamagne is what I interpret. So basically kill his black friends, right? Death threats to them, death threats to me.
And I was getting death.
Of course, death threats to Charlamagne. Death threats to me, death threats to my family, telling they're gonna kill my daughter, posting on my daughter's picture.
We still haven't posted in that.
We haven't talked, I don't talk about it for 2 weeks, right? I go, okay, you saying death threats to all of us? You gonna talk about my daughter? Okay, it's up. I'm a fuck your man. Right? Because if we saying anything, it's like, let's have some fun.
It's still funny.
I'm a fucking man.
It's still funny.
Right?
Consensual love.
So you say the shit, you say kill my friends, and then all of your fans come out, not all of them, but fans come out, they give death threats to all of us, they're talking shit about my 10-month-old daughter, right? Saying they're gonna kill her. And then I go, I'm gonna make sweet love to Kendrick, and now all of a sudden all the fans are like, how could you do that? Oh, you're taking it too far. jokes are not funny. Yeah, we should murder your family and everything like that, and that's really fun. But oh my God, they're like clutching their fucking pearls, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, how did you become the victim again? He really is the Taylor Swift of hip hop. Like, Taylor is the biggest artist in the world. She's still the victim somehow. She's the victim with Scooter. Yeah. She's the victim with her boyfriend. She's the victim with the labels. Kendrick, the exact same thing. He's the biggest rapper right now. Destroyed Drake. Can't talk about Kendrick without saying it. No, he destroyed Drake in the battle. He's number one, and somehow still he's the victim that he started.
Yeah, Kendrick being the Taylor Swift of hip-hop is funny as fuck, but Schulz said several times that he doesn't think it's coming from Kendrick's team. It's mostly his fans doing all the shit-talking and spreading the misinformation. And like I said before, all this does is make Schulz look like the good guy because people are taking the things he said out of context, and he's not afraid to call them out. It all feeds into his ongoing narrative that he's on the verge of being cancelled, and if you don't support his free speech, then you're next. Don't forget, guys like Andrew Schulz are the last line of defense against censorship. If they go down, it's World War III. So make sure you're stocked up on elk meat, alpha brain, and AG1. Thank him, B. But the clip he was talking about there was from the last episode of Brilliant Idiots that dropped last weekend, which was actually recorded on the same day as last week's episode of Flagrant. That's where the confusion is coming from. And if you guys want to have a laugh, stick around because I'm going to show you Charlamagne pretending to see the clip with the guys from Shits and Gigs for the first time. His acting is fucking terrible. It's like watching a toddler lying about shitting his pants when everyone can smell it. And so this is where Schulz actually got pretty angry about the threats towards his family, and it explains why he got so mad and went so hard at Kendrick. Remember, this was recorded before anyone had seen the episode of Flagrant where he declared his weird-ass desires for Kendrick.
Some of the Kendrick stans have been posting shit like telling me they're gonna take out my family on like pictures of my child, my daughter.
God.
You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah, it's social media. It's like, but he says that line.
like-
He says that line. His parent, his friend, some of his fans. The majority of his fans don't do anything. The majority of his fans are just like they like hip hop. They think he's a great musician. But the most extreme ones, on a picture of my 8-month baby, are going, "You better take security everywhere because I'm coming for your whole family." And this is like multiple.
Crazy.
So to me, that person, I don't blame Kendrick. We can't control what our fans do. But that person, I go, you're talking about my kid, man. Like, I have to screenshot you, know who you are, and if I ever see you,
you can't play with it. Yeah, you can't play with it. No, I'm with you. 100%. That's why I don't feel no remorse.
I feel no remorse. Like, yo, you talked about someone's child, bro.
So it turns out it wasn't just about comedy for Schulz, and this is why comedy podcasting has turned to shit. It's no longer just about the jokes. Schulz was clearly offended by all the hate towards his friends and family, so he hit back with a joke about SA. I can imagine Rogan sitting on his couch at home, relaxing with a bowl of popcorn, feet not touching the ground, seeing a clip of Schulz complaining about all the hate and saying out loud, "Shouldn't have read the comments, bro," while kicking his feet in the air. Comedians these days are so overexposed and they don't realize that they're giving us a behind-the-scenes look into just how sensitive and volatile they really are. And the allegations against Schulz by an ex-girlfriend paint a pretty ugly picture of what he's like behind closed doors. If they're true, that is. But you could tell that all this shit coming up again really got under his skin.
But now they make it racist. They try to make me a Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
This was hilarious.
It's like,
No, this we gotta talk.
yeah.
This was next level. So one of my exes, she has been turning 29 for the last 5 years. I don't know if it's because Hollywood isn't great to people that are trying to make it and they're in their 30s or whatever. But they looked at the ages and they're like, "Oh, she's 29 years old still," and they're like, "Oh, she must have been 16 when they're dating." I go, 16? I go, I was on 5 shows on MTV when we were dating. How the f am I in a public relationship with a 16-year-old? I go, look. There's her on X Factor saying she's 23. And I'm like, wait a minute. This girl's lying about her age. They believed the lie. Now they're posting it trying to turn me into pedophile. So the Kendrick fans are just going.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Mind you, she is black, so they're calling you a racist, and your ex-girlfriend was a black girl.
I'm a racist and I'm a pedophile. I'm a racist and I'm a pedophile. Yeah. Yeah, tough week.
Yeah.
I sat back and I was like, let me see what they're going to throw out. Because I know that they're going to go crazy. Once I did the thing on the pod, once we did the Flagrant episode, I was like, I know they're going to go crazy. I was like, I'm sitting back. I'm going to see. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at me. I already know. And I was like, all right, let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. They start throwing out everything. Oh, he's racist, of course. That's the first thing they're obviously going to go to. Then they do the pedophilia shit. I'm like, all right, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, good. Bullshit. Community note hit them real quick on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elon, bro. That came in clutch. That was fire.
All right, so Schulz is talking about his ex-girlfriend, Sarah Phillips, who was born in 1995. They dated around 2014 to 2015 when she was 19 to 20 years old, and Schulz was around 31 to 32. But because she'd publicly lied about her age to seem younger, people thought they dated when she was 16. That still seems kind of fucked up to me, but it's the actual allegations that she made herself on Instagram that caught me off guard because Schulz only refuted the age gap. He didn't say anything about the actual abuse allegations. This is what she said back in December 2020. For years, I was manipulated, controlled, and abused by him. The verbal abuse was constant. I was isolated from my friends. If I wore makeup that he thought was too much, he'd wipe it off my face in public. He'd force me to change before leaving the house if he thought my outfit would get too much attention. Once, after being sick for weeks without explanation, I found out that he'd been using my toothbrush to clean the bottom of his shoes. To this day, I can't make sense of that kind of sickness. On another occasion, on vacation in Aruba, his anger got so out of control that I had to hide from him in the hotel bathroom with the door locked. Soon after, I began having panic attacks almost every night. There are other things that happened during this relationship that I will probably never talk about for the rest of my life. As happy and healthy as I feel in my very fortunate life now, seeing this person's face, hearing their voice, seeing their name is still very triggering. Maybe it'll always be. I don't know. But I just ask you to please try to understand that it's not a funny joke to keep sending me things related to this person. Please stop. Please try to understand. So Schulz's response to that was, nah, she wasn't 16, she was 19. Bro, what the fuck? What about everything else in there? Using your girlfriend's toothbrush to clean the bottom of your shoes? Now, I don't know if what she's saying is true or not, but that has to be the most Andrew Schulz thing I've ever heard. And that line, there are other things that happened during this relationship that I will never probably talk about for the rest of my life. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's more to this than just a dispute over her age at the time. What is with all these guys and allegations? No wonder Brendan Schaub is pushing the whole beast of a baseball dad narrative so hard. Bro's getting ahead of the allegations. But unproven allegations aside, Schulz does have a point about all the hypocrisy from his attackers. Everyone's trying to play the victim card while their skeletons are banging on the closet door.
And then Ice Cube's son tries to post some shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I just put right under it. I'm like, why don't you look up Google No Vaseline by your dad? And now he's in the comments explaining himself. Well, technically that was a joke. It was a metaphor. It wasn't a real thing that was actually going to happen. I'm like, oh, really? Is that it?
Yeah.
He must not have heard it in a while because those aren't all metaphors.
No, there's some.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Some
MC
metaphors.
Ren's dick tastes like the shit in
Yeah.
Easy's ass or something.
Talking about sticking a broom up somebody's ass. Like, how do you make that into a metaphor? I don't know.
The broom was actually really the oppression that black people had to endure from the record industry. No, it's just crazy to see it happen. And then to see people jumping on the narratives. The only thing that annoyed me was that one that they tried to push out, DL, and then I guess Jasmine Brand tried to push out, because they tried to make it seem like I was being a victim after what I said. They said that to me and you and Charla, and I was like, it's up then. If y'all want to go there, we could go there.
Yep.
And I promise that you're not comfortable there.
Yeah.
And the second I went there, what happened? This is too far. You can't make jokes about unless, of course, you're making them about people that we think it's funny. Unless, of course, you're every TV show. Unless, of course, it's like literally everything they brought up. They brought up this clip of Cat Williams going, is never funny. And then literally Friday after next, he's in a scene where he's about to get
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what, you pee on me?
Yeah.
And I posted that scene. It's like, come on.
This all goes back to what Andrew was saying earlier, how most of this isn't coming from Kendrick or his team, it's coming from clout chasers trying to jump on the victim bandwagon. But if you guys haven't seen Charlamagne pretending to see the original clip for the first time on Brilliant Idiots, you are in for a laugh. This is fucking great, right? So keep this in mind as you're watching the next clip. It was recorded last week on the same day as the previous Flagrant episode, supposedly weeks after Schulz, Alex, and Charlamagne had been receiving death threats and were being called out by Kendrick's fans and people in the hip-hop industry. Apparently, though, Charlamagne didn't think to actually watch the clip until now.
I've never seen this clip. Let's play it.
You just glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the time. That's why they got to shave their hair.
Nah, bro, white guys with black girlfriends,
They grow a beard
they step
because
their dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the out. That's what
Alex going crazy.
That's not me. That's the other guy.
I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white
Do they
girls?
have-
Yeah.
No, keep
Wow.
playing.
Okay. What's your favorite?
He said what?
No, keep playing.
Keep playing.
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We love them all.
That means white.
Yo, who gets
That means what?
Hey, let me get a US translation.
Kendrick fans? Get him!
Wait a minute.
Wow, they cut the best
You
part.
say Kendrick
I've never seen this
fans.
before.
Well, at the very, very end, he says, Kendrick fans, get him.
Oh, I did not know you said that.
Oh, my little rascals hurt.
No, wait a minute. Time out.
I didn't know my little rascals hurt.
Time out.
Hey, Kendrick.
Stop with the lap jokes. That's not funny.
My little rascals hurt.
The black jokes. That's a black joke?
I said the lap jokes. He keep acting like he a little kid. Sit on my lap.
Oh,
Rascal.
listen.
He's my little kid.
I've never heard this clip. Right? I've never heard this clip.
Kendrick
But I can't believe.
This is one of the best.
Listen, I know. I can't believe. I can't believe that y'all have heard this clip before and just realizing him saying Kendrick's name is probably the reason Kendrick said what he said on the record. I've never heard this clip before.
I never heard you say Kendrick
forgot I
at the
said
end.
You've never heard?
I didn't hear
Really?
Kendrick at the end.
Forgot I said that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught that, but Charlamagne hadn't seen that clip. And fuck me dead, that is the fakest reaction I've ever seen. The squinting at the screen while trying not to bust out laughing was next level. And basically the whole comment section on that episode was calling him out. Charlamagne doing his best amnesia bit to save himself. Next he's going to say he's never even met Schulz. It's cringy how Charlamagne loves to act like he doesn't know what's going on. Charlamagne saying he's never ever heard Schulz make jokes about black women. Charlamagne playing dumb is pretty disappointing. This was so hard to watch. The cringe is too much. This whole thing is one big circus now. Basically, everybody involved looks like a hypocrite, and the more mud they throw, the deeper their hole gets. They're all playing the victim card in their own way, when the reality is, we are the ones who are the victims of cringe. But those allegations against Schulz from his ex-girlfriend a few years ago are pretty fucked up. It sounded like she just wanted to leave it and move on, so I doubt we'll hear anything more about it. That seems to be how these things go. Nobody knows what really happened, and then it'll come up again in a few years when there's another Schulz controversy. Don't be mistaken though, Andrew will use this whole situation as a marketing tool for his upcoming comedy special. He recorded it a couple of weeks back and he's currently in the edit, so expect a full-blown fear-mongering campaign in the lead up to its release. Hopefully this time though, he doesn't try to scam his fans again, but I think this one's coming out on a streaming service, so it'll be interesting to see what fake controversy he thinks up this time around. Anyway, make sure you go and check out the link in the description to my Patreon if you're interested in my longer form uncensored content. While you're here though, hit the subscribe button and make sure you give me a thumbs up if you ended up liking this video. Thanks for watching guys, I'll catch you in the next one.
The worst DM I got was somebody who was like, yo, I hope you have a horrible Christmas.
Why would Dub DM you that, bro? That's so crazy that he would do that. And you wore this jacket today in protest. That is so crazy.